2 minutes and 20 seconds. Mr. Domina, would you address the integral issue? And
I will, Your Honor. I'll start there. There was a suggestion I have 4 hurdles to overcome here. That is the third listed by the appellees, and I'll start there. The contention of the appellees is that in order to allege a securities fraud case, it's incumbent on the plaintiff to give to the court all of those things which the defendant will claim were relevant to the sale.
But I thought I heard you in your earlier argument talking about those very documents.
Well, I did talk about those very documents, and I talked about the fact that they are not integral to the complaint. And one of the reasons they're not integral to the complaint is that the plaintiff can't imagine what the defendant will claim were all of the instruments germane to the sale. So the plaintiff, the question upon judging the complaint is this: does the plaintiff's complaint assert plausible facts describing a claim under the Securities Act in which the plaintiff says, I was induced to purchase securities by these facts or these instruments? It is not the plaintiff's burden to say, well, wait a minute, there's another instrument that we think counts.
And how do you respond to the federal cases or
those cases that talk about
clever drafting?
Well, 3 ways. Number 1, you don't have that clever of a practitioner standing before you. Number 2, Justice Stephan is right about the differences in procedural practice on summary judgment. And number 3, and perhaps most importantly, those federal cases turn on Rule 10b-5 of the Securities Exchange Commission, which has different elements of proof than our statute. And that goes to proof not pleading, but they become really closely related in dismissal practice for failure to state a claim, particularly where data outside the complaint, whether claimed to be integral or not, is involved, as here. And we think at a minimum we were entitled to a hearing at which we could, if we believed it appropriate, object for lack of authentication of the documents, object that the documents tendered aren't complete, object that the documents are complete but there's a substituted page, or one missing, or who knows what the issues would have been. But none of those things occurred. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.